Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidwoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking Magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt! What word do you bring?
His face goes pale, and his eyes open wide. The Magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The Voidwoken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
Off you go. I can't be seen raternizing with the likes of you.
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, most deceiver. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor. You're going to... What, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. I have my orders. The prisoner stay...
Please, why would I kill Lucian's second most charming son?
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discoloured. Her eye...
Welcome to Driftwood, Godwoken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me. Or indeed you could stand there gawping as if you were a cow ordered to dance a reel. This is a masterful performance. I would applaud it, but well... Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net. Excellent! Now, if you'd be so kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
I know it looks delicious, Quercus, but try to restrain yourself. No, you don't even have a stomach. It'd just be indulgent.
They'd be daft to come back. As long as there's no sorcerers, there's no boy woken. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
This town doesn't look properly equipped to entertain a nobleman like myself. Pity.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes. As if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tent.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you, her claws mid-swipe.
Why on earth should I have thought anything else? Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend to divinity. There is a process.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks a vial of shimmering liquid, sauce. She lets a couple of drops fall on her hand, but instead of infusing with her body, they quickly evaporate on her scale. She stares at the empty spot on her palm for a long moment before turning back to you, continuing as if...
A process by which God-woken may ascend. It begins with discovering your deepest self, delving into your own soul. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you... Fortunately, the Magister poured much into art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Your talent for following simple instructions. Push the button.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination.
Excellent. Follow me.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's
Feel free
dream.
to look about while I catch my breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed. And try not to break anything in the meantime.
Is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, God-woken? Just so. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Rivellon. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal. Although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cup.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a void-woken would be even more inconvenient. So if you...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
And do not lose anything. These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular... After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door... suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling.
Deepest recess of my soul? But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could... It looks haggard and weak. Its very voice but a feeble...
My chosen, come closer, so that you may see... Look me...
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color.
Blind eyes, speak the spell, and see.
In all his spectral...
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. Your God-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Ralik nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside you.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. You save us both, as a matter. You must realize that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism and a dreadful mistake. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in... Only he who claims everything will be everything. The void's doom, this world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One, at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, my champion. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods, their blood on your murderous hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. I promise that yours alone will be the powers of the lake, and to the lake I will lead you. But not yet. Not until you've become a true master. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God-woken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes.
You flatter me, my chosen. But if all I had to do was give, you would have long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Best of luck.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of Source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my Source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime. Enough to sever my link to the font from which all Source flows, and certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only Source Masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Were the circumstances any different, I would indeed agree. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your Source, saving Rivellon, flee. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource, but do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time. And I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of it. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Quercus, what are you looking at? Egad, stop gawking at the shield. You ought to be quite used to such journeys into that stone. I read through some tomes I saw that cranky old lizard carry. Some fascinating leads, but nothing like the power we need to stop the Knights of Dre and their wicked plot. Our gargantuan friend is easily impressed. Wait until it learns that I'm a knight, a scholar, and... No, of course it knows that already. No, I most certainly do not feel that I owe our shield my life several times over. Now, if you're quite finished ogling your...
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you.
You can see me. A godwoken in my presence. I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such one Meister tells me it cannot happen, that I am not godwoken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful...
The spirit looks at you...
It is hard to hear of such power, and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I...